Here to keep the chase going, share information, spread unity, preserve our heritage and our culture. We're trying to achieve something that you just can't catch. We're always trying to find a better way, trying to make better dogs. That's what Dixie Doggers Podcast is. That's who we are.
This episode is brought to you by Rankin Ranch 38 Cattle Company. Marc Rankin specializes in Brahma and Brahma Cross cattle in Oglethorpe County, Georgia. You can contact him at 407-832-2077. 407-832-2077. This episode is also brought to you by Phil Wilson of UC Hunting Properties. If you're buying or selling land, farms, or hunting property, these folks know land. You can contact him at 678-791-3483. 678-791-3483, or visit his website down below in the description.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're here with you again, and I did it right off the bat. It's the worst habit, y'all. Nate's going to get me. Maybe he might cut this, I don't know. But anyway, I move my microphone every single time we start to record, and I don't know why. It is and I realized at that time. So anyway, first off, I want to say thank y'all for listening to us. Thank y'all for participating and doing the things that y'all do in the hog hunting world, in the dog hunting world in general, because we have a wide variety of listeners. I do want to give a couple of shout outs to some folks that I've talked to, and I've talked to them a few times. Talked to one guy this week on Instagram. His handle is JJ Livestock UK. He's got some really nice dogs. I've seen some pictures and stuff of. I think he thought he was talking to Nate, but he was talking to me because he said, your old man's a character. So, I mean, like, I'll take it, whatever. But anyway, dogs are on point. The ones I've seen they're proper.
He had some specimens.
They're fucking proper dogs, for real. For sure. Then I also want to give a shout out to my buddy Zane Burton. They call him the Sandman. MMA fighter. Y'all check him out. Like, he's legit now. He I think he's one of the top 5 ranked fighters in Southeast or something. I looked him up, like he was up there at the top, and he follows and listens to the podcast. And I've been talking with him. I think he's gonna come down and try to put a hunt together with us. He's getting some stuff started out. Got his pack of dogs. He does a little bit of everything. I think he's like us. He's one of them old trashy son bitches that turn loose. It. Yeah. Tree a coon, run a pig, dig a diller, whatever you got to do. Make a sandwich out of all of it, whatever.
Ain't hungry.
Man, that's what we was talking about, going to Rusty's, and Rodney said something about everybody getting paid, stuff like that. He was like, he said, well, hell, we'll live off the land if we got to. I said, well, we got some dogs. We'll catch armadillo and make a sandwich. Like, we ain't going to die.
No.
And I mean, if it gets to that point, like, we'll just eat the dogs.
No.
Like, we can't.
No.
Damn. If they catch any armadillos, yeah, okay.
We ain't going to be out there that long.
Have you been there? When you walk outside and you look as far as you can see, it's vastness.
Till you see Ardmore.
And the hookers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nathan, he was approached and
by a toot.
Yeah.
Well, she was actually sitting down. She was very polite.
She said, "Hey, baby,
you want to
get you a motel room with me?"
No. She said, we was at the Red Roof Inn. She said, "Hey, would you like to go to another hotel with me?" And I said, No, I'm good. I believe I'll stay at this one.
That's the one I lost my temper in.
Yeah, that lady wasn't very nice.
No, we done paid for the room. The room was paid for.
Because I originally went there.
Yeah, to go get the key.
And I was like, "Excuse me, ma'am." I was like, "I'm here supposed to get the key." I was like, "My mother's rented this room." I was like, "I can show you her ID and stuff like that." And she just looked at me and she said, no. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I'm just going to go outside then." I told Dad, and then there was some screaming.
I walked in and I said, "Ma'am, I would like to get the key to my room." And she said, "What's the name?" I told her my wife's name. And she said, "Well, that's your wife's name, not yours." I said, "Yeah, but I paid for it. It's my room. I've been driving and I'm tired. I said, my wife's on her way. She's behind us. And I need to get in the room. I'm tired. And she said, well, we can't do that. I said, I've already paid for this room for the whole weekend. I said, I would like the key to my room, please. And she was like, no. I said, well, I'd like to speak to the manager. She said, he's asleep. I said, well, wake the fuck up. And that dude jumped up so fast. His hair was sticking all up. He was like, sir. I was like, sir, what? I said, I would like the key to my room. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. I said, I've already paid for the room. My wife is already called up here.
Yeah, she let you know we was coming.
She told you we were coming and I would be picking it up. And he was like, oh, yeah, well, I fell asleep. I said, well, if you already knew this, you should have relayed the message. And that dude just kind of looked at me, like I ain't supposed to be telling him his business. So that's what led into the more of the screaming. I said, and if this lady, I didn't call her lady by no means, and I didn't say it that politely. I said, she needs to be talked to properly. I didn't say it like that either. Anyway, I said, somebody needs to smack this bitch and teach her something for real. Like, because something's wrong with her. Like, if you pay for your shit, why wouldn't they give you? So I boycott that place. Hookers and assholes. That's all that's there. That's probably where Pat Lewin's going to stay.
Probably so.
Yeah. So, anyway, I don't know where the fuck we got off on that conversation. About the armadillos. That's what happens. But anyway, appreciate y'all. And y'all check out Zane. Check out his MMA stuff. Hopefully we'll have him on the podcast pretty soon. And we'll have him out hunting with us. Maybe we won't mess him up too bad. It kind of, every time people go with us, they get corrupt. Like next thing you know, they go back home and their dogs ain't casting worth of shit. They're catching the neighbor's cows and stuff sometimes, or a goat. And, who's looking at that goat? Jeff. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them deals. You got to be careful with it. Or if they got, like this past weekend, I mean, we went down there with Braxton and them and hunted. Rodney shit right in front of the truck. Mm-hmm. Now, how many of them people now think that it's okay to shit right in front of the truck? See, Rodney, we all went with Logan Campbell. Logan Campbell shit right beside the truck while he was talking to Chance. So Rodney thinks it's okay now. So now I'm going to shit right in the bed of the truck. Apparently it's okay. So you got to be careful what you do and who you hang out with, people. So I'm telling you. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. So tonight, we do not have a guest. I'm interviewing Nathan. And Nathan's interviewing me. We actually did have a guest, and his cows got out for real. And so we said the show must go on, and we're gonna do a little discussing on some puppy stuff, and some of the stuff that we've had with these dogs that are. And some of them know what a hog is, but they're not hog dogs by far. But they're aspiring, and they're done really good. I guess we could talk about maybe with Phoebe, set that up and run through that with them about how all that came and why we even took Phoebe with us.
Well, really, Phoebe, probably until she was about 8-9 months old, was just super, super coyote and puppy-like. Like, 1 minute she'd be, like, real weary and real shy. She's one of them dogs that, like, when she comes up to you, like, she shows you her butt first, and she, like, walks sideways and, like, cowers down. But then, like, if you go to pet her, she might just run off.
Yeah,
with like, butt. Yeah, maybe, like, snarl her teeth a little bit. Sometimes playing, sometimes, I don't know.
Sometimes, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so she was just a weird dog. She's a Kimmer Cur, by the way. And then we put her on a chain, just been letting her grow up, been working with her some, and she turned a year old January 7th, so she progressed a lot in that aspect. Her voice started changing. Like you said, you can tell a lot of difference in the demeanor of the dog. And then we had these little piglets that got out, and they had gotten at that point where they were small enough to get out of the hole, and then one day they wasn't. They was too big to get back in, so they couldn't get back in. But the problem is these little pigs is fast. And so of course, the pigs, they're not very smart because they're little, come right up to the edge of the dogs, and the dogs would be barking at them. So he's like, well, let's catch one of these pigs. So Phoebe was barking at the pig, turned the pig loose, or turned Phoebe loose, and she helped us catch the pig. We put the pig back in the pen. She baited up. She really didn't even bite it, honestly. But we got it hemmed up, and like I said, she was in there baiting it. She did good. Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And so we saw that. So we went out there with Braxton. That's why we wanted to take her, because now that she's actually showing interest and she kind of knows the pot of gold that's in at the rainbow, that maybe we could try and get her to cast, because we want her as just a hog only camera crew. So typically for that, like if we're going to start a dog, we start with casting first, because it's the hardest thing to get down. And it's the thing that the dogs typically like doing the least. We both agree that a lot of dogs' things is what's equal to just like teaching them something bad, or teaching them a bad habit, or setting them up to only do this and putting them in this box style hunting, is the dog's preference. Like Louis, he just likes road hunting. So if he hears ATV, he's probably going to quit what he's doing. If he ain't like own one, he's going to quit, come back and be like, oh, we're finna road hunt.
Yes. I think it is a lot with the preference deal.
Sometimes I feel like the dog's drive is too high, and it just outweighs a lot of thought and logic in a dog, and that's where you just get waterheads. But like with Phoebe, so I started taking her, and like the first couple of times, like couldn't even get her out of the box. She was like,
first night,
she's like, she's like, I don't know what we're in.
We got there that evening, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got to that evening.
Or that night.
She didn't have no problem going in.
We didn't go till the next day.
Yeah, we didn't go till
we didn't go there. I keep saying that first
night. We got
night,
them out to walk them. And she didn't like coming out of the box.
Well, the next day, she didn't come out of the box next morning.
Yeah, at all. And then by the
she didn't come out till that night.
Yeah, and when we had went that night, that first night, she had actually started coming out. And then there was a couple times where we let her out, and she like went out. She only went like 50, 60 yards. And then she just come back and kind of was like, hey, what are we doing? Like just hanging out because she was bored and there's no like fresh sign. So we just put her up. And on a good note, like that whole little scenario was like, she went 40, 50 yards, like I said. And then next time, don't let her out. Let the other dogs beside her go, because it's like, hey, you didn't go do nothing.
She started barking.
And so then when she wanted to bark, then we let her out, and she'd go like 75, 80 yards. Maybe, and then bump like 100 like one time. And then like the next day, like it kind of started off.
Oh, that first night was when we found the piglets.
Was it the first night or was it the second night?
It was the second night we were there, but it was the first night we hunted. Wasn't it? Yeah.
I think so. Maybe.
No, that was the second.
We didn't hunt the first night. We only hunted.
We hunted that day. Yeah.
Yeah, we only hunted that second night because the pigs come on camera. We went back. We went back the first day because the pigs come on camera. So after we ate, we went hunting, and that's when.
Oh, we caught the little eater pig the first day.
Yeah, we ran that one like 10-pound show for like 4 or 5
He's probably 15 pounds now. Maybe even 20.
Yeah, but he ate good.
He was bigger than that. If you like, I had a video of him. He looked like he was about. On the video, it looks like 150 pounds. He's like 50 pounds max.
Now, that little pig was fat.
Dude, he was. But anyway, with Phoebe. So she just didn't want to do it. Like, I mean, I ain't say she didn't want to do it. She still was shy. But we went back that night, and you and Braxton. That's when y'all walked the dogs down,
and they got.
And I let Phoebe out because that's when she started barking. She was wanting to go.
And when we come back, that's when we caught those little piglets.
And the funny thing about this is me, Eric, Kylie, Rodney. I'm trying to think of everybody. Preacher man was there, his son. That was a little boy wasn't there that night. It was just him. So there's 5 or 6 of us standing at the truck. And that little Phoebe dog, she goes out there about 75 to 100 yards. One time she went about 150 yards back up the road. She's running the road, I know, but still. She'd never been out at night or anything. And keep in mind, earlier that day, she wouldn't even come out of the dog box. So now she's going 150 yards by herself. Well, she got about 75 to 100 yards, and she starts booger barking. I was like, yeah, that's what I was waiting on. I was like, and the dogs were running at this point. We had a race going. She kept staying in one spot. And I was like, what in the hell is she doing? She was just standing there looking, just barking. Well, Nathan and Braxton were coming back, and right where she was standing, within, 15 yards of where she was standing, there's a group of little piglets that got up, that had squatted right there. So, as far as I know, she's standing there barking at those pigs, and we didn't even go to her. Like, I really didn't. That's one of them deals where
she does booger bark sometimes.
Yes. Well, it wasn't a fact like saying, oh, I didn't trust the dog. It's like, I thought she was just playing around. Like, it was so close to the truck again.
Yeah. Like, there was times she barked at the other dogs coming back.
Now, these are little pigs, too. These were piglets.
Yeah, like piglets. Like,
so
they were still, like, trying to hide in the leaves and stuff.
But y'all caught, 3, 4?
Yeah, I think we picked up 3.
But that just shows you the progression that it took just from being patient with the dog. From literally not... Because now, a lot of times we'll show these dogs a pig before we ever take them anywhere. We want to let them know what they're doing. And in this instance, what was it? We left Thursday. Okay, so Wednesday, she ran a pig. That's the first time she'd ever seen the pig or anything. Because, like, I tried messing with her. We tried to get her to tree some at 6, 8 months old.
Yeah.
And she still was just such a puppy. But anyway, it's like she really just grew up that quick. And Nate told me, he said, I think we need to take her. He said, because I wasn't here. And I mean, like, she really did a good job. And
she ran it for probably 500 yards.
Shit, then Sunday, the last day that we hunted, she was casting a couple 100 yards with other dogs.
Now, there was some casts where she still was
She didn't go far.
Yeah, where it's like, but then we put her up, we cast the dogs another time, left her up, and then the next cast, then she went.
I think the furthest she went was 3 something, right at 350 or 380 or something.
Which was a big improvement in 2 days from going from I
won't
nothing. Come out the box. And, I mean, that's pretty common when this happens. The most important part is to not have a bad correlation with coming in and out of that box. If you're getting mad and frustrated and snatching and being rough on the dog, it's just going to freak it out.
Like Nathan does?
Oh, no. I'll be over here sweet talking.
Rodney does it.
No. Rodney's dogs don't even come out of the box most of the time. They'll stand back. They know. Rodney's got them trained.
Rodney will smack that ass, boy.
Yeah,
no, you can open the door on that box.
The
yeah, you pop on in that nose. And that's a good thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a dog like that. Because, like, we got used to, I had a dog trailer, and every dog had their own hole, We ran a lot of real rough stock. And then, so now it's like we got a big over-the-rail box. We got damn 40 head of dogs shoved in one damn box. Oh, yeah. And if we only want to put 2 on the ground, then, you don't want to fight with a bunch of them. Yeah. And it's tough.
During the casting, you don't go near smooth. No. Especially if you got one that's real strong here, like if you got Junior in the box. He's coming out. He's coming out 9,000 miles an hour every time. It don't matter who, what, when, where, why.
That's right.
But
so go rolling into that with Junior. We took him as well.
So he's down there in the bottom.
Same night.
Yep, same night. That second day we were there, the first night we hunted. And so we were down there, and Louis went up on so we're like in this little bowl, and there's short pines, and then some cut over to our right, and then there's a hardwood SMZ, and it's a few 100 yards wide, and then there's another cut over, and then a bunch of planet pines. So they go up there, like where the hardwoods and the short pines meet. Louis strikes a pig, and then within a few seconds, Annie, she was just yards away. Like we could hear the pigs before we heard anything, and then we heard like a few yips here and there, and we think they had like originally had the whole sounder, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know if the sounder broke or if one of them went in there and busted it up or what. But then they kind of split, and we could hear pigs going every which way. And then Louie and Annie was running this one pig like in just a circle. It was like a 150-yard circle. And you could just hear it. And the pig was just coming right back down to like where it's dropped off where Braxton and I were. And we could hear the pig. And a few times we saw it. And it'd either run run over there to the hardwoods, go in the cutover, go back into short pines, or it'd run the other way and come down through us. And it was just like making this like little figure eight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was funny is like almost every time the pigs and the dog would just run back into each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like the dogs was like getting confused and the pig would just run back into him because like Braxton and I were down there and then y'all was on the other side. So I think it was enough just to keep the pig moving.
Yeah.
And so
because they kept trying to come out on our
they
side.
wanted out. That's
when I was telling you, you said at one time, you're like, well, they're a couple 100 yards in there, I think. I was like, no, they're like 50. Like they were burning it up right beside us.
So Louie and them was on that one pig that was just running. Because like we could see like the trees and stuff. And Braxton and both of our lights were going down. I was like, damn. I was like, I can literally like, we can smell the pigs. We can hear them. They're like 20 yards from us.
Right
and like you can see the bushes moving. I'm like, damn, I just wish I could see. Like, I'm not even scared. I just don't like it when I can't see.
Yeah.
That's not a good feeling. I'm not the only thing that's out here. And so then dumped the box, pack, Junior and the foxhound. So Junior immediately goes to Louie there. The foxhound, he strikes right there in the edge of the cutover, like right before he got to Braxton. He just like, we could hear him like slow trotting and he just stops. And Rick, like, he just goes, hoo, hoo, like a little toot. Like he makes
three little barks.
Yeah, he makes like these little toots. And then he tracked along and then he stopped and he made a couple little toots. And then he was just went.
But see, now that's why I thought
they finally pushed the pig.
Yeah.
Well, the pig come out because Junior and Andy then was running. Well, Rick was behind them. So when they come out, he saw or heard or could tell the pig.
And then turned the pig back to them again.
It actually went into the cutover that time because the pig knew the dogs was in the short pump.
He fucked up that time.
Yeah, and then 2 miles later, they got it.
White boy Rick is your pusher. Which Andy, we got to get, like I said, we don't know which dog's doing what. Of course. We know all the dogs were there.
Louie did not finish the race, but...
Yeah, I was thinking to say, Louie, I don't know what...
I think he went like a mile... because they was all in it together.
I think he heard us.
Yeah,
coming.
He was like a little over a mile, and then that's when they had lost it. And I don't think he picked back up. I mean, I think he heard us. Like I think they was all like trying to hunt
at the same time.
Yeah, and I think
because we got up there where they
move.
Yeah, I was thinking to say that's when we were moving.
And he's like, all right, yeah, let's go. He's like, no pig here, guys. No pig here, guys.
But old Rick stayed with it.
Junior stayed with it.
Junior stayed with it. Andy stayed with it. And when they got there, like, Junior's a pro pen dog. And, like, he's not the greatest by no means. But he ain't bad. I promise you, there ain't many of them wild hogs that's ever been bayed that tight. He's going to have to learn to back up just a little bit more, I think. But
yeah, he was basically touching the pig.
When that son gun takes off and moves, though, he'll snatch them and set them on their ass.
Yeah.
But that turned out that was a good sow. I mean, she's a good, healthy sow. And there were some fat ass hogs too, boy. Them some bitches fat.
Good pigs. Good pigs.
Good eating pigs there.
It's a good time.
I was trying to think of anything else in there. That was about it on that cast there. But what we noticed with Junior, one reason we even brought that up is that's literally his probably third or fourth hunt, like serious hunt. And
about that,
he actually
race as well, and he finally finished the race.
Yeah, he finished. He bayed hogs before.
Yeah, but
when they broke, he didn't stick with them, but like 800 more yards, and then he came back.
And he's rigged a couple times.
He rigged 5 times in one night, and 3 of those times they went out and bayed. So I mean, like he's got a pretty good nose on him. Which now, what we were doing then is if he barks, he's vocal when he rigs. M&M will whine. He'll get to whine, and so will Sally. And then if it's really hot, then they'll yip a little bit. But because Junior opens some, it causes M&M to open more in the box. So that's working out good. That's working out really good. But on track, for 2 miles, you never heard Junior say a word. I ain't heard him bark on track at all.
No.
Now,
we'll be back after a quick break.
And now, thanks to the sponsors and friends of Dixie Doggers. Animal Housing Solutions.
Boars N Broads.
Crockett Taxidermy.
Hardcore Hog Dogs.
Southern Cross Cut Gear.
Ada Y Transport.
4L Kennels.
The American Doghorn Museum.
Unique Hound and Hunting Supply.
Hogbaying.com.
Tuskers Magazine.
Mud Creek Hog Dog Trials. Because he was running another little show, and like he was running this little pig in a circle, and while he was moving, there was no barking because Braxton and I was like 100 yards away from him. Now I think this was the last day we was there, and it's funny. He'd be treed, it'd show him treed, and then a few seconds would go by, and you hear him, and I'm like he was making sure the pig was just completely stopping. So I don't know if it was
like that's the bay pen side of things, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know, because if you'll notice, there's like in the bay pen world, most of those dogs when they're running after a pig, they're not barking. They're silent when they're running them. So why wouldn't you want to run a little bay pen stock or put some bay pen stock in your breedings? You know, I'm not saying for y'all to go do that, but I'm saying that's what we're doing and it's working out for us. That don't mean that it's the best, but it works. It seems to be working really well for what we're doing. We're not the only ones that do it. There's a lot of folks that do that stuff. You know, it's just something that we're doing with our dogs, you know, and we're crossing up a bunch of mutts is all we're doing.
Mutt enthusiast.
100%. 100% mutt.
I'm a mutt myself.
Big mutt dog. Speaking of other mutts, I want to talk about my puppy Herman.
Mm-hmm.
This little dude's aggravating me. Hard-headed. But it ain't all his fault. By no means. So we had him in a kennel with another pup. And then these are two kennels they're side by side touching. There's two pups in each kennel. He was so vocal, like it was driving me crazy. I was like, dude, and like nothing worked for him to be quiet. Opened the door and he tries to charge out. Like it didn't matter what I done. He just would not quit. So finally, after a few weeks of it, it's like, look, we got to do something. So we moved him to a kennel by himself. He's still out in the middle of the yard with the other dogs. You know, we got 2 rows of off-ground kennels. I think there's 12 of them, maybe 12 or 13 kennels.
Yeah, there's 12.
All right, so there's 12 off-ground kennels. And so we put him in one of those, and he's literally 4 foot from another kennel. And within a week, it was like a totally different dog. Like all the barking really, really came, I ain't going to say to a screeching halt, but it was very, very minimal.
Yeah. And it's not like he was really having any like problems before with being in there with April.
No, there wasn't aggression or none of that.
They ate fine together. Like there was no issues. He was just on 10.
Just wound up.
But
like a jealous pup, like jealous.
He was like, this dog is getting one extra pet than me. And it's not.
Like, so the guy I got him from, he did something when they were puppies, in which, I mean, I don't do it. I don't know how many other people do it. I don't know the effects of it, good or bad or whatever. But like, you know, you desensitize them, and I agree that they do need to be desensitized to an extent. But I think it might have been a little much on him. I don't know, because like if you get onto him, you know, most time say a 12, 13-week-old puppy, you clap your hands and get loud and say, hey, stop. You grab their attention. Well, it don't bother him.
No.
I mean, you can shoot a damn cannon right beside him, and it don't bother him. Nothing phases him. Nothing. So
no.
As far as putting a handle on him, I don't worry so much about putting a good tight handle on a dog until they show me that they're going to hunt. And the reason I'm like that is because I don't want to have this fantastic dog that minds well. He loads, unloads, sits, comes, stay, roll over, do all these other things, but the son of a bitch won't hunt. Now, if it's my companion, my pet, yes. But if it's my hunting dogs, my stock, they got to roll out. All they need to do is come to me when I holler for them to come in. Load up in the box and not fight with other stuff. And I can deal with most of everything else. Everything else is an allowance. But like I said, it wasn't even getting to that with Herm. It was to the point where it was like, man, I don't know what in the hell to do with this dog. I love the dog. But literally separating him changed him for the better. 100%. And so, like we were talking about with the little pigs running around, well, there's 2 of them. And I had actually showed him the little pig, and he was not interested in it at all a couple weeks ago. He's just wanting to play because he's still a puppy. Well, the other day I let him out. Like I was talking about him wanting to charge out and be the boss and all that. Well, he finally got the point. So now when I open the kennel door, he'll wait. I just tell him back. He'll back up. He'll wait on me. I'll pet him up, feed him, do all that. So when he does what he's supposed to do during the day, I let him out, let him run around, get some exercise. Well, I let him out, and all of a sudden I hear a little grunting and a little squealing. Well, he's the one squealing. He's yipping, trying to catch this little piglet.
Yes.
So he just started himself. I was like, hell yeah, go get him, Herm. So he's chasing this piglet all through the woods. It's funny. Well, he finally catches it. And so I get it put back in the pen. And there's a hole that I didn't find, apparently. So he got back out. So at this point in time, I'm not even mad. I'm like, hey, this is working out. This is good training for my pups. And so a couple of days later, I let him out. First thing he did was hit the woods. He starts hunting. He finds it. So the isolation part, and it's not like going in the hole in prison isolation. It's just basically putting him by himself.
Having some alone time.
Putting him by himself where he doesn't have another dog to feed off of, to another dog's energy, good or bad, doesn't bother his energy. That helped tremendously. Like I said, it's one of those deals, and this was also one of those things that, like I didn't say, okay, well, we're going to try isolation therapy. No, that's just what I'm calling it because it worked. Put him by himself because I was being selfish and I didn't want to hear him barking nonstop, acting crazy, chewing on wire, jumping around. Literally like a lunatic. He went from kennel level of 8 or 9 to kennel level of about 3. And that was a huge difference. He's a terrier. So, of course he's going to be wound tight. But at the same time, I like a dog to have a handle. I'm the boss. They have to mind me. They don't have to be the best, but they do have, I've got to be the boss, period. I can't have a dog that's going to challenge me at all. I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but I just can't. I can't deal with it. Don't matter.
Definitely helps when they listen. The more they listen, the easier it is.
Well, I put him on a leash. He'd never been on a leash. And he had about literally probably 30 seconds of tugging and pulling a little bit. And in his defense, this was an allowance I made on this. I let him pull and do that because I just got him off that little pig. And he had never been on a leash, so I clipped him on the leash. And first thing he does, what does he do? He goes running. He's trying to get to the little pig.
Mm-hmm.
So I put him back up, and the little pig's, he stayed out for a couple of days for these exercises. So the next time we do it, I turn him loose, and about the time he gets up there and catches it, I call him. He turns, stops, pays attention to me. And so when he is catching, I call him off. Like, even at that young of an age, I've tried to instill that in him already. And I know a lot of people won't think that it'll work because he's just a few months old.
Mm-hmm.
But it's working. Like, it literally worked. He went from not paying attention, Nate'll tell you, like, just wide open, don't give a damn about nothing but him, to, what do you want me to do today, Dad?
Mm-hmm. And one thing about, like, calling them back is, like, the earlier you start it, the less you're resetting a drive more and just incorporating into the process. Like, this is the process of how we do stuff.
That's right.
And so, like, even if it's like, well,
what are you talking about resetting the drive? Explain that to some of the listeners.
Well, if you got a dog that just wants to get a pig, wants to get it. Like, say if you got a dog in the woods, even after the pig's dead, even after it's tied, if you can keep them alive, anything like that, you should be able to be like, caught hog, leave the pig alone.
Yeah.
All right, at least that. I mean, so, like, there's some dogs that, like, that's all you're going to get them to do, but you should be able to at least do that. Like, say, okay, I got the pig, calm down. Like, it ain't the end of the world.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you don't incorporate that as part of the process from real young, like, they're just going to keep getting it. Well, you're going to have to, like, reset the dog. Like, basically, mentally for the dog, this has always been how it's went. I get the pig, and nothing stops me. So it's not comprehending, like, oh, why am I being told I can't get it? And some dogs, if they're not, like, if they can't handle, like, a high shock or something like that, because you're trying to get the dog to not get the pig, some of them just shut down. They don't get the pig ever again.
Yeah.
They're like, I no longer want it. Like, he says no, and they don't see the difference as a, like, part of the process versus, like, it's just too shallow.
That's why it's important to do it as a younger dog.
Yeah, because it's part of the process.
Yeah, because it's part of the process. That's like teaching the catch dog how to catch properly. Not how to bite it and hold it. That's not what I'm talking about. Where to catch it.
Yes.
Tucking its body in. Some people don't. And that's fine. You do you. You do it however you want to. And if it works, hey, it's great. But for me.
Yeah, like for us, like
they have to catch a certain way.
Yes. And like
that's why catch dogs are 9, 10, 12 years old around here.
Yes, exactly. And so, like, if, like, we're in the woods and we got a young catch dog with us and we catch a smaller pig, like, if it's a big pig and, like, it's fucking shit up, like, we ain't gonna, like, do no maneuver, nothing. The motherfuckers getting either killed or the dogs are getting pulled off. Yep, but if it's a smaller pig, you know, that we sit in there, get all the other dogs off and get control of the pig, reposition the dog to whatever it needs, and let it sit there 30, 40 seconds, and then you're good. And a lot of times, if you catch a few more pigs, usually by the end of the hunt, it's like, they're not hitting the leg. They're hitting on the jaw, or they're hitting on the ear. Or, like you said, they're tucking, or they're going straight out, at least, however you want them.
To me, it depends on the size of the dog. I've learned a lot of that, too. Mm-hmm. The bigger dogs, like Harry, at Wolfhound, he can get out to the side of the hog and hold that hog. He could get straight in front of that hog if he wanted to, but you're going to take damage no matter what. I mean, well, if he's vested up and all that, but you still got the potential to take damage.
Oh, yes.
If it's a tall dog like that, I think kicking out at a 90, he can have control of the hog and hold it. And we've seen him do it. We've seen him take a hog that's 150 pounds with 4 other dogs on it, and me holding it and drag it out of my hand. Like, this son of a bitch is strong. But I've also seen Gene go in there and hang a hog that's 3-4 times his shit, 5 times his size, whatever. And it's the way that he catches. Gene will get up there on the side of him and he'll roll back into him. Mm-hmm. You know, he'll tuck into him if he can, or get almost up under him.
Mm-hmm. I've seen Gene caught on the jaw, like up under him quite a few times. And it's like,
a lot of times he can't get to the damn ear, you know, if there's, depending on the catch and the way it is, which I don't care.
And he's a short fella. Like, the jaw's down there. Bite it.
He's a shorter dog.
The jaw is not coming off.
No.
And you're probably not going to break it. It's not going to tear off.
And you get a full bite.
It's one of the thickest parts of the skin.
And we can't keep, like I said, keep a live hog. So like I said, that,
and even if you can, if a bulldog is breaking a pig's jaw every time he bites it, son of a bitch, you got a hard mouth dog, and kudos on that. But fuck, I'll see it when I believe it.
Yeah, that's what.
Now I'm not saying it like a smaller pig, like it could definitely hurt the pig. But
we're talking big hogs.
Yeah, like
we're talking 250 and up, or 200 and up.
Yeah, I don't foresee any damage.
No, and like for a long time, and I still do it. I run a lot of cross breeds. I used to run only game dogs, and there's so many things that come along with game dogs, good and bad. I've never had one that I had to fight with and had a lot of issues on the yard. I've never had all that, but I have had other issues. So I like running a cross of some kind, and with the crosses, it seems like they literally have more of a natural ability to follow the flow of the catch. A game dog, not all of them, but a lot, the ones I've had, that's all I can speak on. The ones that we've had over the years, I mean, they go in there and hit some bitches like a freight train, and they ain't coming off. They're hooked. They're hung. First lick.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I've seen them get swung over and swinging around like a rag doll, you know?
Yeah, like.
And I've seen Gene. He's the same size, weighs the same amount, 45 pounds. Gene would go in there and hit that son, she was like an old loggerhead laying on the bottom. Just reach up there and get him a bite, put all 4 feet down on the ground, just lock down. He would just anchor his body down, almost like a big American bulldog would or something like that, because he doesn't have that fight.
Yeah.
He's got the catch, not the fight.
Yeah, a lot of times I think he's trying to pull, like he knows he's trying to control the pig. He's pulling it to him. It's almost kind of like if you ever seen one like on a flirt pole or something, like when they grab and they're like turtlenecking it.
Oh yeah, turtlenecking the bad dude.
That's not how Gene's doing. He's using everything from his ear holes to his asshole. He's putting it in it.
And now, honestly, like his dad is phenomenal at it, but
I wish he was the size of his dad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad he's not. Probably couldn't handle him.
Well, that's what we were going for, but at the same time,
80 pounds and he's 4'5".
I told you when we done it, I was like, I don't think it's going to happen because the mama dog was not that big. I said, we're probably going to get, I was hoping for some 60 pounders at the most, or in there, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And,
but he come out the smallest.
Yeah, Gene was the smallest. He's definitely done his job.
I saw some pictures on my phone. I was moving some videos around to find some stuff to put on the Patreon, and I saw a picture of the day Gene then was born. Yeah, I was like, oh, little Gerald. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Old Gerald Hossenbosser. He's a bad dude. So now we've got a few pups right now. I'm kind of curious to see how they do as far as like catching and holding and stuff like that. We're going to send a few out to some people, get some evaluations done on them and see how they work. We got that Herman pup, and then I got that dog Whiskey we got from Josh. We got those two we're going to put on the ground for running catch dogs and just stop dogs. We're getting them cutovers, and the hogs they want to break. Well, we're gonna give them a break, all right. That's part of it. Mm-hmm. Not everybody hunts like that. And we don't hunt like that all the time. It's just certain times. That's what it calls for. So we try to keep that pack, so that way we have it like that, you know. So we have a little bit of everything for all scenarios. Mm-hmm. So you talking about the Patreon account? You got it set up now?
Yeah, just getting some stuff uploaded.
Yeah, we get some stuff uploaded.
We'll probably just take the next few weeks and just
try to get a bunch on there.
Get as much on there as possible. Probably going to do 2 tiers. And the first tier will be a little cheaper. And it'll be like short videos and posts where we go more like just to individual dogs or maybe like training or just a tip or trick. And then have a little more expensive one where it's those videos, but plus like some long format hunting videos and stuff. Try and do like 2 seasons a year, basically. Like,
say on basically, that one, I can show you the videos of like where I'm training these pups.
Yes.
Because I video about all that stuff, but we can't put that on. I mean, we can, but on YouTube and shit, but we're not going to, because I mean, you got a pup that's chasing a pig down, catching it. Yeah. He's not even hurting it, but it's still some squealing and barking and biting and stuff like that. And it's okay to do that on Patreon. Patreon allows that. Okay. So that's going to be the way that we can bring you guys, our listeners out there. That's going to be the way we can bring you guys closer to what we're doing all the time. And I mean, you'll get to see some good stuff, like some real good videos of what really happens. And it won't just be just hog hunting. It'll be a little bit of everything. You'll get to see me running, chasing the pigs. That's going to be hilarious because I fall down all the time for whatever damn reason. But anyway, like I said, Nate wants, and I agree with Nate on that. We want to make sure that we've got enough stuff uploaded. So that way, when you do join, you're getting your money's worth right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know, it's
some incentive to get it.
Well, yeah, it's a couple dollars a month. I think what we were talking about is maybe have it for like, you know, $2 or $3 a month to $5 a month or something like that. And that will help us be able to get more footage, to go on more hunts, to be able to bring you better videos and better training tips and things like that. It will allow us to do more and to do better. Because we've done every bit of this with no funding of any kind except for us.
Oh yeah, we don't expect no handout. We gotta
make
something to get something.
That's right. And then, but now, like on the podcast stuff, it's growing really good. It's steadily growing more and more. And man, I love doing it. I love sitting here talking about stuff, and talking to people, and getting to learn stuff. And
oh yes, for sure,
it's a good time. We want to continue to do it. We want to be able to get, hopefully buy some new equipment before too long. We need to get let's see. I know we need to get a new computer, new laptop. That's what we need. Need to get a new one. A good one. One of them super duper fast ones.
Yeah.
So that way I can learn how to use it. I don't even know how to log in a computer still. I don't even know how to turn this some bitch on hardly. And I can't even use fucking WeTransfer.
It happens. Sometimes stuff is tricky.
But I can get a dog on the hog.
Yeah. That's
what I do. That's what I do. The pork pounder. That's what I do. So, anyway, that's all we was going to talk about tonight. Just did a little quick one, just a little bullshitting. Just talk about some of the stuff on the dogs. Mm-hmm. Where they're coming and what they're doing. The old white boy Rick is what we call him. That old foxhound. That was the second time we hunted him. First time we carried him down to Logan Campbell's. He fell in the race, stayed there for several hours, did a good job. Mm-hmm. So this time he finished the race, bayed the hog. We caught the hog. He rolled out again. We had to go run him down. So he's got his mind on what he needs to be on. And then we just got hunting. I think this past weekend, every time that we put him down, he run off. Like
he went until he found one.
He went until we got him.
Yeah.
Like he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back.
He just keep running the pig.
That mug he didn't come check in.
He like running the pig. He just like me for real.
He said sometimes they run. He said, and I do too.
Yeah.
I posted them pictures. Did you see that little reel I done of the hog coming across the game camera and then old Rick right behind him?
Yeah.
He wasn't running on 20 miles an hour, but like the old hog's mouth was open, breathing hard.
They was both panting.
Yeah. I think Rick was about tired too, because like he's not legged up.
No.
That dog is not legged up. I was like, if we get this so much legged up and him ready to roll, we're going to have to go. We'll have to go down there with Uncle Pat or go back down there with Logan or Henry Williams and them, take him. I just, because that way, that's more style of dog that they run. I like having him for that. But I also think that
I like him because he's not too rough.
He's a little colder nose.
He's a little colder nose. He's not rough. And he's not wide open on track. But he'll open up just enough to where you can pack other dogs. So you can put but he's not a bad influence. Even when the other dogs are getting rough, he's like, y'all do what y'all got to do. I'm cool right here.
And, that was the thing.
And he's not a bad influence.
For how many years did we hunt dogs that, you couldn't pack to them? Like, when I say dead silent dogs, I mean they ain't saying nothing ever.
Yeah, and that's one thing that
it was rough.
That's one thing I've enjoyed about a lot of the more purebred curs is about all of them yip when they strike a track.
Yeah. Or if they're looking at it. If it's real hot, they'll start yipping.
Yeah. Now
a lot
of the colder stuff, if you have a cur dog that takes anything 4 6 hours, most of them aren't yipping on that. They're out there, they're walking slow or they're just grubbing it up. But like you said, like now if you go there and the pigs was there 30 minutes ago, I know Louie and him both. Louie's gonna do.
I seen him and him bait a hog trap.
Yeah, if it was that
this past winter,
he'll be like, it's in here. I can smell it.
He was barking so hard. I was like, there's nothing in there.
Like, but he sounds like he's done when he's striking.
Well, remember the guy that owned the property called me. He was like, that hog was in the trap. He said I didn't have the gate set on it. He said the hog was in the trap 20 minutes before your dogs got there.
Yeah.
Because they blew up. They was like, yo. I was like, what the hell's going on? We got down there as a trap.
Yeah.
It was like a big circle trap.
Yeah. It was like, he's here. He's like, somewhere close. Here.
Yeah.
He's baited some in the trap before and then plus like putting him in the bait pen. Like, I guarantee you that's why he stayed.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
It was so funny. And it's like with John, like, there's been a few times where the pig was just there.
In the pasture.
Yeah, in the pasture. And when you let him out, Eminem sounds like he's dying, like Freddy Krueger's got out. Where Louie goes, and you just hear him fade away into it, and he's going to chop at that. He don't even bark hard enough to set off the bark detection.
It's not a bark. It's a
yip. Like, I call it a little gay-ass yip.
I don't even think it's a yip anymore. It's just like squeaking. Hey.
But I don't know. It's loud enough to where it's not like a whine.
But after 200 yards or so, like, you're not going to hear him.
I can hear him a little further. 200 yards is for you, but
I can't hear him.
Yeah, I know. I've heard him like 500-600 or more.
Well, that's barking.
You can't hear though.
Well, that's not even. That's a.
It's
bark.
Also.
If he's open, we got to get rid of him.
Your headphones are turned up 2 notches higher than mine. I want to preface with that as well.
I don't even sound like they're on.
Yeah, my point exactly. That little scientific study proves you can't hear.
No, you can't do a scientific study by yourself.
Review it.
Peer review. Okay, listeners, everybody out there right now, I want to see a show of hands of who thinks I can hear better than Nate. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Y'all give us some feedback on it. We're going to have a hearing contest. What I do want to do, and I've said this, a dog calling contest. Like, we're doing it. We're doing it. Every time I say stupid shit like this, and I say we're doing it, we're going to do it. I said, hey, let's open a store. Okay, we'll do that. Hey, let's do this. Okay, we do. Because I don't give a fuck. I have something wrong with me. But I think if we did do a dog calling contest, I didn't even want to do like a contest at first. I just wanted to do a documentary of all the people everywhere that we go and the way that they call their dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And what gave me the basis behind that, the whole basis behind that, is it was TikTok or somebody, some video, and they were like, call the cows. And everybody, that's everywhere they went. They were like, well, how do you call the cows? Everybody just be looking at each other, and that's how they call the cows. And it wasn't identical, but it was so close. There was only like 1 out of 10 that was different.
Yeah.
So I got to thinking, I was like, I wonder about that. And I know some dog callers. Oh my God.
But see, we could do more like documentary style on that. But then you know how they have like the pig calling contest?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll still do the contest. We're doing a contest.
Oh yeah, like,
the contest is happening.
I think we could do it this weekend at Rusty's.
We'll do it. We're doing it.
I think we'll have the people there to do it.
Game on.
We'll talk with Rusty if Rusty's.
I'll fix to text him right now while we're on the air.
Well, we could put up like $100 to the winner.
Let's see.
And it basically be like majority.
I would say I'd call Rusty, but he won't answer. He don't ever answer me.
He's gonna shoot you in the foot when he sees you.
That's how he can't shoot nothing. Hell, they can't even shoot coyotes. He takes 14 other people out coyote hunting so they could run them over. I got to find his damn phone number in here. I just had it, but I was looking for the one where we're in the group chat. Are we not in the group text?
I think so. I think we have 2 separate group texts. I think he started one and you started one.
Well,
I might have started one.
There's one that says,
but there's one we use.
That's the one I was looking for. Oh, it's up here. All right, I'm going to text him right now and say, hey, we want to do a dog calling contest this weekend. Yes, sir. I'm going to tell him we're going to put up some prize money. Yes, sir. We're doing it. There it is. I sent it to him. We'll see what he says, and we'll let y'all know on the next one how it all turns out, because it'll be, let's see, this one will come out the week after we get back from Rusty's. Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be going day after tomorrow. Actually, we're going to leave tomorrow night or Wednesday morning early. Real early. So, all right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put that into motion. So, once again, hey, listen, we appreciate y'all.
Yes, we do.
We're going to wrap this one up and try to get some stuff done tonight. This was a kind of a spur-of-the-moment deal. But like I said, the show must go on. So, if y'all have a topic y'all want to discuss or that y'all want us to talk about, I know Zane had said something about getting into some hounds and hunting with just like straight hounds. So if y'all know anybody that runs hogs with straight hounds, full-blood hounds, I don't care what kind of hounds, contact Nate or myself and or Rodney, whoever. Somebody get a hold of us and let us know. Mm-hmm. And we'd like to get y'all on as a guest. Preferably somebody that's like 60, 70, 80 years old that's been doing this for 40 or 50 years. That's who I would really like to talk to. And I mean that for real. But, I mean, it don't matter the age, honestly. Mm-hmm. Houndsman is a houndsman. So, and it don't matter if it's man or woman or whatever. So, if y'all know anybody that would be good for that, give us a holler. Let us know. And y'all keep up with us. Like I said, y'all look for the Patreon stuff. We'll have it up and available to y'all very soon. And we appreciate y'all. We thank you so much. Until the next time, keep the hound on the ground.
Thank you.
Hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned for our new episodes every Monday and Wednesday. For questions, advertising, or just to chat, email DixieDoggers01@gmail.com.